Have you ever lost something so valuable, you thought there was no way you'd get it back? Now imagine if the person who found it had nothing, no home, no food, no future. What would you do if you were in his shoes? This is the story of a man named Eli, a worn-out coat, a lost wallet, and one choice that changed everything. It was a bitter December morning in downtown Chicago. The streets hummed with the usual rush horns blaring, footsteps echoing across frozen sidewalks, the scent of roasted peanuts and exhaust fumes lingering in the air. But beneath that noise, invisible to most, sat Eli. Eli had been living on the streets for almost 3 years. His beard was scruffy, his eyes tired but kind, and his belongings fit inside a ripped army duffel bag. Most days, he sat on the corner of Clark and Monroe with a cardboard sign, just trying to get through today. No one really looked at him. They walked by. Some dropped coins, some didn't. He didn't expect much, but he never expected this. It was just past noon when he saw it just lying there on the icy sidewalk beside a bench. A brown leather wallet, thick, heavy. Someone had dropped it in the chaos of lunch hour foot traffic. He picked it up. Inside, a driver's license, credit cards, and at least $500 in cash. Eli looked around. No one was watching. No one seemed to care. He felt the weight of it in his hand. He hadn't held that much money in years. His stomach grumbled. He hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. His hands were numb, his boots had holes, and a warm bed seemed like a fantasy. But then he looked again at the license. A name, Rachel Montgomery. An address just 5 blocks away. He took a breath and stood up. Eli made his way through the streets, heart pounding. He could have vanished. Bought food, a cheap motel, maybe even a second-hand coat. But something inside him, a whisper. Maybe his mother's voice from childhood told him this wasn't his to keep. He rang the buzzer. A woman's voice came through. Confused. Hello. I found your wallet, Eli said. It was on the sidewalk downtown. There was a long pause. You have it. Yes, ma'am, I can bring it up. Moments later, the front door clicked open. Eli climbed the stairs and handed it over. Rachel, a young mother with a toddler on her hip, opened it and gasped. Oh my God, everything is here. You didn't take anything. He shook his head, already turning to leave. But Rachel grabbed his arm. Wait please, come in. At least, let me give you something. He hesitated. He'd been turned away from stores and cafes before, but her eyes, they weren't suspicious. They were grateful. She invited him in. Rachel made him coffee. Hot, sweet. The kind that makes your fingers tingle. Her son, Leo, kept staring at him like he was some kind of hero. You have no idea, Rachel said. That money was for rent. I thought I was going to lose our apartment. You saved us. Eli just smiled. He stayed for 20 minutes. They talked. She asked about his story. He told her about how a factory accident led to medical bills, which led to job loss, which led to eviction. The dominoes had fallen, and here he was. Before he left, Rachel insisted on giving him a warm coat, her late father's still hanging in the closet. It's just collecting dust, she said. It deserves to be used. Eli tried to refuse. She insisted. He left heart pounding again, but this time for a different reason. He had come to return a wallet, but he left with coffee, a coat, and something far rarer, hope. Now here's where it gets unbelievable. That night, Rachel posted the story on social media. She shared a photo of Eli in the hallway, holding the coat, smiling shyly. He returned my wallet without taking a penny, she wrote. Let's help him get back on his feet. Within hours, it went viral. By morning, there were thousands of comments, offers of help, job leads, donations. A local reporter picked it up, then a national morning show. Rachel tracked Eli down the next day. He was back at his corner. She showed him her phone, scrolling through all the messages. His mouth opened. No words came out. You're famous, she grinned. He laughed, and then he cried. Can you imagine how he felt? After years of being invisible, forgotten, suddenly, the world was seeing him. 1 week later, Eli was staying in a warm shelter run by a local non-profit. They'd seen Rachel's post and reached out. He got a haircut, clean clothes, and started helping out at the shelter's kitchen. But it didn't stop there. A man named Daniel, who owned a nearby hardware store, saw the story and offered Eli a job. "He showed more honesty than most people I know," Daniel said. "That's the kind of man I want on my team." And Eli, he showed up every day, early, grateful, determined. 6 months later, he had an apartment of his own. He was mentoring other men at the shelter. And every Friday, he brought coffee to Rachel's place to catch up and play with little Leo, who now called him Uncle E. Eli's life changed because of one choice. One honest, selfless moment in a world that often tells people like him that kindness doesn't matter, but it does. And sometimes when you give what little you have, the world gives back more than you ever imagined. Can you believe it started with a wallet? That's the power of kindness. It echoes, it spreads, it builds bridges between strangers. And it reminds us that no one is ever truly lost, not when we look out for each other. If this story moved you, don't let it stop here. Like the video. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist. And in the comments, tell us when was the last time someone's kindness changed your day. Subscribe for more real stories that warm your heart and renew your faith in humanity. And stick around. Because in the next video, we'll tell you about the school janitor who became a town hero overnight. You won't want to miss it.